Welcome to our panel on Instructor Presence. Now, I know a lot of us have probably taken online courses ourselves in the course of our education, or maybe as an instructor for a professional development project, etc. And I think what I found through people that have done that, including myself, is we sort of make do. We will usually be presented with some kind of correspondence course, and given that we're instructors, we feel we have the capacity to follow it. We're self-starters. We don't really need instructor presence per se. I know my last professional development class, I was basically just emailing when I was done with the assignments. There's no interconnectedness. There's no keeping up with what the class is doing as a whole. It's just a solitary experience. Now, in some arenas, of course, that's appropriate, and that's what people want. But what we found for students is trying to bridge the gap between their face-to-face class. We get many students who have never taken an online course before, and I'm sure you're all familiar with some of the issues that might be around that itself. But let's put ourselves back into the place of a student again and consider that when they see this Blackboard 9 page that's supposed to tell them their courses, their announcements, there's a lot of information on the page, and it can be very confusing for students, and not to mention lonely, silent, and solitary. So when a student comes into my previous class, for example, in the spring, I know that a lot of us will set up our weeks or our assignments in learning modules, which I find to be incredibly handy. And what you're going to hear is you're going to hear an audio that I put into, let's say, week 15. And you can see I use a lot of things, multimedia and pictures, audio, videos, embedding things, mashups, because this I found has been incredibly supportive for students, and I have much better retention and completion. So when I go into this week, once the audio loads, you have to set it to come on automatically. So there we go. You can hear a little bit of this. Now I'm going to put this on pause. You notice I keep the audio file all the way down in the learning module so that if a student wanted to download it, they could. If they wanted to repeat it multiple times, they could. All I've used here is the auto start, so that when they open it up, they don't have to worry about getting the right QuickTime player or whatever their issue might be. As long as they're set up for the online class, the audio will come on automatically. You can see here that in the regular learning module, they have a list of things to do for that week, which was this last semester, and each week I have this audio file in here. Other things that I have in the discussion board and other areas will have other multimedia, but what we found is having that audio introduction in each week grounds the students. In fact, they're reporting back that they feel much more confident, and I think a confident online student is a better student. One more, I'll show you another example, particularly when we had things coming up that were important. See, I have a little spring break here. Let's try week 10 here. And again, once it loads, you can see that the audio is there and they can download it. This one I guess I had up top. Now I'll pause it again, and you can see how this could be incredibly helpful for students and for instructors to explain things that can't just be written out. So this here is a sort of introduction to instructor presence and using audio files, and there are many other ways.